Look, we're already excited.
Super excited.
I am Sarah.
Zoe.
I'm Mimi or Makko.
I'm Bwana.
And
All right, now let's just get into it.
Oh, Lord.
So, we're going to talk about our experience at the Chicago concert. What year was that?
I think that was 2018.
It was the last concert. It was the last.
It was the last BTS tour.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, so first of all, was this the first one that we went to with Sarah?
Yes,
Yes.
and it was my
Very
first one.
And this
So-
was, that was your first concert of this? Oh.
So we did
I
this
missed that.
right, y'all. We did this.
Oh, did we do
We
it
did
right?
this so right. It was phenomenal. Okay, I'm ready. So excited. So first and foremost, the ticket buying process was a heart attack.
It was,
it
and this was
destroyed us.
It was
before Weverse pulled it together for us.
Yes.
This was before our
This
our
was
family
right
pulled- yeah.
before Weverse pulled it together.
for
So
us.
you
And
know,
actually, it threw us for a loop because we had already established a way of doing things, and then when Weverse pulled it together for us, it threw us off our loop a little bit, but we got back in there.
And some of y'all don't know the world before Weverse
before
tickets.
this ticket buying process.
So before the ticket buying process happened, you know, we had to come together. We had to do whatever we had to do to meditate, to pray, to get through that trauma of getting tickets.
It's stressful.
But we got them. And we were so excited and so ready that we wanted to remember and document from beginning to end our process. From packing to the morning of driving to the airport and saying, we going, y'all, we going, y'all.
let's start at the most important thing at the beginning. We got floor tickets.
Yes.
This was your first concert, and you were
got
on the
floor
floor,
tickets.
and this is our first concert to have floor
Was it
tickets.
stadium?
Yeah, to have floor tickets.
This
It was a stadium.
This was
It
stadium,
was
and this
their
was
first
floor.
stadium tour,
First
actually.
stadium tour, and this was the first time we got floor. Now, I would have loved to experience the days where pit was pit, where you just went in there and you got as close as you could, and there was nothing
And there's no
assigned.
chairs, yeah.
But now it's organized. Why they had to go and organize?
But
God
before
knows.
we
we're
got
crazy.
there, before we actually got into the stadium and we walked in and it was crazy and huge and massive, I remember for some reason in my mind sitting in the van in the hoopty driving to the airport at night and trying to stay awake. I was very excited because I love flying, but I was exhausted. We had to get there early. I don't remember what time.
She
but it was
keeps
still
saying
nighttime.
it was at night, and you're jumping all over the place because you're
Am I?
It wasn't at night. It was just
It was at
3 a.m.
2:30
in the morning. 2:33 a.m.
That's right. Darkness. At darkness hour, we were on our way to the airport. Yes, and I think you were videoing. One of our videos that we have on YouTube is posted on there for Chicago.
And we'll link that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
We
was-
took y'all from
I
beginning.
think
That whole
it
trip was magical.
It was truly, there was truly, I feel like a cosmic reason why that trip was so magical.
Because
I
it was
mean,
our last one.
We
before
wouldn't
the
have
pandemic
ever
hit.
thought that it
Everything
would be
aligned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything
Stars
aligned.
But it was
for it.
absolutely perfect. We were there for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and even when we got to the airport, we met a slew of Army.
Yes.
We were already snapping pictures. We hadn't even got on
Learning
the plane
armies,
yet.
learning new
Posted
armies.
on our Instagram,
Yeah.
the photo that we took. We tried our best to make a heart, like the ones that the guys made
At the
together.
airport, the armies we met, we tried to link a heart and take
So
a picture.
from
shot.
beginning to end, we were traveling. We ran into Army from
Yes.
beginning to end.
That was a wonderful concert going experience too. From your hometown to go and start the journey with meeting new Army. That was a wonderful experience.
So when we whenever we landed, we had to get from the airport. We had our suitcases. Thankfully, we didn't pack heavy, so we could walk from one place to another. But one of the stars that aligned was that our hotel wasn't far.
It wasn't.
From where we needed to get off.
And we didn't do the traditional thing, which was take a cab or take an Uber or something like that. Props to Chicago. None of us had ever been there. Wonderful Chicago has that awesome train system, and that will take you, because we had family that said, don't get an Uber. Look, it's got a train line. Look, this is the line you look for. It'll take you straight to where you're. And we went and hopped on the train, and we starting to see a lot of beautiful Chi-Town. Props
We
to
did.
you.
Remember when we were like looking lost and we said, where do we go? That's all we said. Where do we go? And we got bombarded by like 30 people.
So picture it, y'all. First, that exact experience of going into that train line, buying the ticket that we needed to get in, the security guard, first and foremost, she was very helpful. She was like, what y'all need? Where y'all trying to go? So this is what you're going to have to do. Make sure you do this. Mind your pockets, because you never know. And then you're going to go here and here. We didn't even ask for help.
Yeah.
She just saw it on our face.
Yeah.
And she knew, and she came to help us, right? So we entered, we got our tickets, we on the platform outside, it's all nice and windy. And then we turned around, we're like, yeah, where are we going?
What did she say?
Where are we supposed to be
What's
going?
the color? It's this color, right? No, it's the other one. Skip that one, and then immediately, like 30 Chicago.
One person's head popped up, and then I saw in my peripheral another person's head popped up, and then another person's head popped up, and they all just kind of bombarded us. Where y'all trying to go?
Where y'all doing?
Here, you gotta go here. No, you can go this way. Okay, you gotta go this way. And they all started talking at the same time, and I was like, wait a minute, where are we going?
But once we figured it out, I was like, thank you, Chicago.
Thank you. Every Chicagoan we met was so welcoming and helpful and nice. Really.
Long story short, visit Chi-Town if you haven't.
Oh my gosh, that's the place.
However, our concert was in May, and it was May, right?
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be just a little chilly.
May 13th to be exact. I saw the ticket the other day.
A coworker of mine from Chi-Town told me, she said, when are y'all going? I said in May. She said, all right, make sure to have your coat. I said we're going in May, not March. She said, girl, I said make sure to have your coat. Oh my God.
She was right. Sarah. Poor Sarah.
I thought it was going to be a little chilly.
Poor Sarah. Every single day we went back to the hotel and her socks were soaking wet.
She
was freezing.
Yeah.
Poor thing. But that didn't dampen the experience, did it?
No. Just think about the fact that it was cold, freaking cold and rainy and windy, and we didn't even fully remember. We don't remember that really.
We're from Texas, y'all, so we used to hot.
We just keep thinking about all the great things that happened during that concert.
So even though we had those elemental disasters that were going on, we still had a phenomenal time.
We were an 8-minute walk to the venue, and we checked out the venue.
That's right.
The day before when we got there, we did a lot of walking.
Every army checked out the venue. We got out there, and Army was surrounded around that stadium.
But another star that aligned, other than the fact that our hotel was 2 blocks from the actual stadium, another star that aligned was the fact that since we were like, hey y'all, let's go check out the actual venue, we decided to get our merch that day.
Yes, we got our merch today.
As opposed to the day of when the line for merchandise was beyond wrapped around.
Yeah. So if you ever get a chance to have that concert go and experience, think about getting that merch the day before. But the agency has gotten to the point to where they have actually made that experience better and in different ways, but that's a story for another time. But when we went the day before and all of Army had surrounded that stadium, don't get me wrong, it wasn't that all of Army were packed and you were just like bombarded. And no,
it was like
they
a national
spread
park
out. It was like a national park. They were spread out. There were the food. There were
like little picnics.
Yeah, everybody
was.
It was just wonderful just to be out. It was like a little utopia of Army outside in those fields.
And it was sunny and beautiful that day.
And for the locals, it was hilarious. Because some of the locals who have no idea who BTS is, no idea who Army is, they're like, who the heck? Or all of these really weirdly friendly people
that have taken over our...
They are waving to each other on the streets. Like, I'm missing something, but there's a lot of...
One of the things I really loved, every single time we went to a Starbucks, which was always packed,
yes,
you would hear Namjoon, Suga,
yes,
Army kept using the boy's name for Starbucks.
Yeah.
For their drinks. You know how Starbucks will sometimes ask you, what's the name on the drink? And everybody was giving Jim and now
we went to Starbucks a lot.
We did. We live at Starbucks. Let's just keep it real.
Because we did not sleep, let me tell you. The only time we slept was in the dead of night. But we were maximizing our time there. We explored the city.
We did. We went to Chinatown.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like, that was an experience. So the great thing is, all of Chicago was pretty much Army that weekend, right? So, of course, we went there for the concerts, but outside of that, we still experienced BTS as we explored the rest of Chicago.
We experienced the whole family of
Army.
So we never lost the reason we were there. We never lost it while still experiencing something outside of the concert.
And let me tell you, the feeling, I will never forget it, of eating somewhere and seeing Jungkook post a clip of him eating the same food from the same place at the exact same time and place is freaking crazy. Yeah. If I lived that life, K-Army, if I lived that life where I was eating at the same time at him, I would not ask for nothing else. I live in a cardboard box.
He posted that, like, right when we were sitting down to eat, right?
Mm-hmm. So it was a famous pizza place in Chicago. Everybody knows Chicago deep pizza. We went to Illuminati's. Illuminati's?
Illuminati's. Oh my God, you got it. Stop trying.
Okay. All right. There.
Chicago
that pizza was
deep dish
fantabulous.
Pizza. It was amazing.
Ooh, that pizza was good.
You'll see more details of that when you click on our link to our own Golden Closet film director and artist Sarah. She did for us. So when you click on our link and you'll see the blow by blow of everything, especially the whole pizza connection.
What's crazy is that Sarah was just doing her own thing, right? Like she didn't think, we might need this in archive for when a pandemic may hit. Yes. She was just doing her own thing, her own Golden Closet.
I literally made it just for us to relive too.
Which is now
Army Purple Films.
Army Purple Films. Yeah. But
that was an incredible experience. I really enjoyed going to the Starbucks. I wasn't even impatient for the wait for the line and everything because we kept hearing our guys' names coming out of people who didn't even know why are there 15 sugars in one place.
And one of our baristas one day, a couple of them were Army. You can't go anywhere without meeting Army, especially in Starbucks.
You can't.
So moving on to the day of the actual concert, which is a really strategic thing also.
Saturday.
You have to be strategic about it because a concert will wear you out like a marathon will.
Yeah, it will.
So we did two. I don't remember the first half, but there were two trips. One, we went out to do something, and then Sarah and I went back to the hotel to take a nap, and you guys were at Starbucks, I think, right? Mm-hmm. What did we do at the first half of the day?
We went to Chinatown.
Yeah, that was the day we did go to Chinatown. But then
BTS played in shops.
We scheduled it out to where we could get back anybody who wanted to take a nap and gear up for it, and then me and Mimi was just too hyped.
And it was raining on and off the whole day that day. Yeah, so we were worried about the concert, and we went back to take a nap, but I actually just air dried my socks because they were soaking wet.
She did. You'll see.
Oh, she literally did. But I don't know if we heard this before or after the concert, but Namjoon, the crew for the actual performance were like, okay, it's going to rain or something. Oh, he told us on concert day.
He told us concert day.
He said that they were worried that we might not be able to do it, and Namjoon was calm and said, Army will stop the rain.
Army will stop the rain.
And he was right.
He was right. And so for that first day, for that Saturday, it rained and then it slowed down, then it trickled, and they had the seats already covered because of the rain and so forth and so on. And then you had armies out there with the rain ponchos on, and of course we had the umbrellas and stuff like that.
Because we knew either way we'd be out.
It just got to a trickle. It just got to a little trickle, and then right before concert, it stopped, and it was like the sky opened up. It was like
I remember
it was lit.
Everything coming out that day.
To have Jimin tell you personally and know he's talking to you and him saying, "Don't catch a cold. It's cold outside."
When we were on the way to the concert,
he needed that.
Yes. Yeah. So one of the most memorable things is our president getting up there, and in the same line when he's talking about Army will stop the rain, things started getting hyped, and he was like, "Welcome to our very first winter concert."
They were cold. Their
were cold.
ears were red.
They were cold.
Their little noses were red.
And then we were like, okay, press, this is our springtime. I know it feels like winter out here to you guys. Because if y'all notice, they do not perform in the wintertime, especially not open outside in stadiums.
They thought the same we did. We were like, it's just going to be a little chilly.
No, they thought what you thought.
Yeah, because I had hoodies galore.
Yeah, so let me tell you how iconic that weather was. The guys still mention Chicago. They still mention the cold in Chicago. They still mention this is where Jimin's cold got started. Or this is where, and then Jimin passed his cold on to V, and then so forth and so on. I read something or was watching something not too long ago.
We were watching
when
something.
they were saying memorable stuff and so forth.
It was their concert.
It was their online concert. Yeah,
and somebody said Chicago. Theirs was Chicago.
And we screamed.
It came up on the screen behind them, showing their performance at Chicago.
I was like, that's
this is also the very concert that in one of BTS's docuseries on Weverse, me and Mimi are caught right in the middle of the freaking frame, cheering her freaking arms off.
We were in it.
They're in the docuseries.
I'm not talking about just in the background. We were front and center.
Yeah, you can see them.
Speaking of Makko and Sarah, let's go into the actual concert time frame. right? Well, I guess I got to start at the beginning of me and Mama were a little bit behind where Miyaka and Sarah were at on the floor.
On two.
Yes,
right?
we split up in two pairs.
Exactly. So I was standing next to one army. I had my army bomb on my finger, the ring version, and my actual physical army bomb. And the army who was standing next to me, she didn't have anything. So I saw her, kept looking at my bomb, kept looking at it throughout the first song. And I was like, you know what, girl, here. So I gave her my big bomb because I had my ring. Right? So that kind of started the stage. Everybody was calm. We were chilling. We were bobbing with our boys and everything.
You were relaxed at first.
And then...
No, wait. You missed something.
What?
So when I realized Zoe had given her army bomb, and I stopped bringing army bombs still. I bring them because I like that it changes the color coding and everything. But like I'm not always up with my arm with the army bomb, because if you do that the entire concert, you feel like you have just gone through a weightlifting contest.
I do it.
So I had given my army bomb over to Zoe until something iconic happened.
A green light appeared. A green
with a piano playing. Dun, dun.
And
all
then
the army bombs. All the army bombs turned green. And I looked at Zoe. I took my army bomb. I'm like, is it green? Is it green? She was like, yes. I was like, oh my God.
And we heard the sounds.
And Mimi knocked me over.
Wait. We're going to work from the back up. So the first chain of action was Mama took her bomb back from me because she noticed the green light. And as the music hit my ears.
This was Tear that was about to start.
Yeah, outro Tear.
As the music hit my ears, I was freaking out. I was wiggling my arms. I was like an octopus.
She was flailing all around.
And I kept yelling at the girl next to me as calmly as I could. I need my bomb back. Give me my bomb back. Give me my bomb. When she was like, what? I just snatched it from her hand.
I looked over and Zoe was like, she had her hand on that girl's wrist and her hand on the army bomb. She was like, I need this.
Let me go ahead and say I did apologize after the song. Yeah. Anyways, I snatched it. So you move forward up the floor to Miyaka and Sarah. Sarah gone. Where's Sarah at? Miyaka.
I don't know. I blacked out.
She truly blacked out, and she literally just freaking shoved me. I would have went across the stadium and went for army behind me. She could knock me right back over into my chair.
She completely knocked Sarah out when she realized it
wasn't even just Sarah, to be fair. It was about 4 army I took out because outro Tear is my jam. Okay, I don't think anybody, maybe outside of the 4 women in this room, jammed harder than me.
It was Tear. We didn't know that was in the lineup.
Yeah,
it was Tear. We did not know that was in the lineup.
It was a surprise.
And when those army bombs turned green, and we heard the
Chicago.
Yeah.
No, they didn't do it before Chicago.
Exactly. They performed concerts before Chicago, and then suddenly at Chicago they decided to do Tear.
Yeah. When we
talking
heard
about,
that, we
my God.
And that stadium went crazy. And y'all know the history that happened after that. Tear just went viral as far as YouTube clips of Tear and the Dior outfits and so the green, the flames.
Y'all, if I could tell you that seeing them with your physical eyeballs is 1,000 times different than ever seeing them on any HD screen. Like, I could not believe my eyes.
The only thing that's better is being able to replay it again on HD and relive that feeling and again and again and again.
I had to apologize like Zoe had to apologize. So everybody I knocked out.
So keeping it moving. Favorite moments during the concert, and then we'll get to the end of it.
Oh, okay. One of the moments is not necessarily my favorite, but a moment that I'm very proud of. They had confetti shot. Right?
Yes. And it kept blowing in a different way.
Of Chicago, with the windiness of
windy
whatnot,
city,
it blew into one direction. Thankfully, me and Mama were perfectly positioned. And so there were security guards walking around.
I have to pause you for just a second because our listeners may not know the significance of what you're talking about. So in the concert, they shoot out like confetti or they shoot out like streamer. And you want that. You want that confetti. You want that streamer as a memento of the concert, which was one of the reasons we were so excited about where we were sitting, because we knew We were that close enough to get it, and that damn wind is
It literally, so the stuff shot out, and the wind was like, nope, and it just went sideways.
I watched it.
Sideways.
Yeah. Yes. So as soon as the security guard kind of went past our row, I duck out. I ran and got quite a few of them so that we could each have
them all
one when
up.
we went
She
to.
got it scooped enough for
For
everybody.
context,
You did
in
that, girl.
Chicago,
Thank you.
they did not let Army go up to the barrier as they do in some cities, but we'll get back to that later.
Yeah, because
let
me tell you, we've been without our guys for so long. It's gonna be hell to the cap unless you try and stop Army
We
from
all
getting
gonna
up
be
to
up
where they
there.
want to be. But speaking about the security guards, as it's about to begin, like 5, 10, 15 minutes before, they're coming up and down the roads. And I don't know if y'all saw it. They're going,
yeah.
When we start, no cameras out. I better not see no
That had
cameras.
to have been
no
a joke.
cameras out.
That
So let me tell
been
you,
a joke.
as before they even music together, every army went okay, all right, and then boom, every camera went up, every phone
In
went
addition,
up.
Namjoon, our president, at one
During
point
Microcosmos,
said, "Everybody
yeah.
take your phones
Everybody
out.
take your phones
Everybody
out.
take your phones
And
out."
we turned around and looked at that particular one like, I wish you would say something.
Our
wish you
president
would.
is telling us to take our phones out. We taking our phones
Yeah,
out.
To sympathy for that security guard, especially if he didn't know Army, he must have been terrified to see 20,000 eyes just shift toward him and say, I wish you would
I wish you would
say
say something.
And he didn't say squat.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, even about that security, they were a little junk shook even before the concert started.
Yes, they were.
Because, before the concert starts, they play the music and the videos, and we were on fleek
Yes.
at the beginning. We were on
singing
10
together.
at the beginning. They were like, what in the world is...
Did they rehearse this?
No, we ain't rehearsed it. We just know it.
We literally know.
I'm sure
This
they didn't
was-
expect it to get filled up either.
This was prior to, of course, this was the first stadium tour here, and so this was prior to cities getting to know who Army was.
Yeah.
The world knows who Army is now.
This was our
and knows what
introduction.
to expect the most.
Right.
With Army. And then, so this was before then.
Yeah.
And this was their first, I'm sure it was not the first time these security guards worked a stadium event at all, but it was the first time they experienced it with us. So, yeah.
I could see it on their faces.
because
Go ahead.
for most events, if people are getting there early, they just sit there and chill.
Yeah, they
But
do.
we were literally in
Army doesn't do
unison.
that. We were already
singing
hyped.
the songs
Yeah,
together.
we were on 10.
But
does not
that
do that.
kind of pushes me back. Let's rewind to earlier before we actually entered into the concert. Army is beautiful. So we get there, we're on the land, on the property for the stadium, we're walking around looking at all the decorations and advertisement for our boys, big posters and stuff, taking pictures in front of them and whatnot. And then there's like a lineup of Army, I say stalls, but there weren't any booths. It was just Army groups posted up along the stadium.
Yeah.
And they had free trinkets.
Yeah,
free
that's
little
how they do.
things that
That's how we
Army
do.
made themselves and wanted to give to other
And we
Army.
loved it.
Now, of course, we did the most. We went to this one and then to this one and then we traded for this and we traded for that. You
But
know,
we
were
let them know how
bartering.
much we appreciated it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but that's traditional. That started back in Korea. That's traditional. That is what Army does. That is what you do at concerts.
It added to
And
the
I don't know if at all
It really did
concerts,
add
because
to-
I've watched parents, Korean parents, speak on their first time experience going to and seeing Army do this, and the fact that Army does it, I forget what it's called, but they do this. They create things and make things specifically to share with one another outside on a free basis. Or their first time experience, their child coming to them saying, hey, I need to get this amount ready because I'm going to go to the concert. And they're like, what? Huh? You're going to do what? You expect me to pay for this to give out to what?
For free?
So,
Yeah.
they talked about that atmosphere and how they were pleased that their child was a part of that atmosphere. So, I don't know if it started with K-Army or if it was traditional for the concert going experience in Korea, but I know that kind of environment started in Korea. So, big ups to them. But for us to experience it then, it's wonderful
And
when you
that's
experience
it
it
was
at a
magical.
concert. It's
That's
beautiful.
kind of why outside of Tier or if any of the ciphers are ever performed, that's kind of why I let the Army next to me borrow the Army
It's
phone.
part of the spirit.
Yeah,
It's part of the spirit.
Army does for other Army, like we
Yeah.
do for each other.
We hold each other up.
So we see that this person is lacking and hasn't experienced something. Of course, we're gonna bring this person up and give them
Exactly.
something.
And tell you
know?
what, I am never more well behaved than I am when I'm wearing Army merch.
Yeah,
Seriously.
exactly.
Because there were a couple times when we were challenged out of character, and we just kept each other in check and said, "You were repping Army right now. You cannot be. You cannot be Sarah. You cannot be Mimi. You cannot be Bwana.
You are Army.
Zoe. You are now Army," and that made me behave on my best behavior.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And when you said creative Army, I thought you were going to talk about all the cool costumes that we saw when we were there.
Yeah,
Yes,
they do get
they dress
creative.
up.
Like I'm
Yeah.
Ant-Man, they have their own like capes on.
Yeah,
and
we
they give
saw
out
some
Ant-Man
cool
stickers.
stuff.
And,
Yeah.
Army's so
And
creative.
then Army, they have like a whole section in front of the stadium where anyone who wants to dance, whenever a song is playing,
Yeah.
if they want to do the actual dance for
I think
it,
it was.
they all get together in a mass dance.
Random dance play, I think is what it's
Do
called.
y'all
Random dance play.
remember when we were standing? I don't know if it was in line for merch or what happened, but a camera came out.
That was the droid. The droid.
yeah.
That,
Drone.
Yeah.
So it flies over us, standing and waiting, just to capture some footage. I'm sure for like the
So maybe that's the
and so
maybe
on.
that was the drone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was the drone
absolutely
that captured
because
y'all.
we
Yeah.
would have. With how close we were to the secondary stage, we would have seen if someone had a camera in their
Yeah,
face.
Yeah, that was
There
the
were
drone.
cameras there, but that was definitely a
That had
drone
to been a
shot
drone
of
that
me and
captured.
Mimi.
Yeah.
And then my body was broken whenever we
Oh,
left.
Yes,
After-
because we
No, not only
did
that,
not.
I was sad. I didn't want to leave. Like,
Well, when we left, for certain reasons,
yeah,
That we're not
gotta
done with
see
our clothes.
that we can't tell.
There's
you.
some things that we can't
were
say.
Look, let me remind y'all of something. Let me tell y'all something that I don't know if I read this in that article or it may have been a Weverse magazine. And let me big up props to Weverse magazine. If y'all missed those articles in Weverse magazine, y'all really need to check them out because our guys get very candid in those also. But Jimin, or one of them, revealed that, of course they missed a lot of things, but in Chicago, they got the opportunity to sneak out of their hotel. And when I just listened to him say that, we late deep in the night, we went out of our hotel, and there was a great experience. Undetected is what he said. And I thought, and I thought about the time you and I were looking down that alley and saw the vehicle.
the blacked out man.
The blacked out vans. So anyway, when he said that, I thought,
Yeah.
they got out.
I don't want to jump too far.
Yeah.
Still wrapping up the
yeah.
concert. Now we'll bring up the part when we did get up to the barrier. So it was near the end. The boys do a great job because they've done this over and over of letting us know when it's halfway, when it's almost to the end. So we knew we were nearing the end. In this entire time, these security guards at the barrier were adamant about not letting us get up to the barrier. But do you know, sir, how much money I paid for this ticket?
Yeah.
Do you know how much money I paid?
How much do you value your teeth?
Facts.
I value you as a human being, but if I need to fight you, I will fight you right here and now.
I'll fight a man.
It's on video. We went right up to the barrier at the end of the concert because we knew that was our time when the boys were saying goodbye. And you can see on camera, I am dodging the security man. Thank God he's so tall. And I got a shot of me and Mimi got right up to the stage, right in front of V and Hobie as they were saying goodbye. And Mimi is screaming on the camera. She's screaming, "Hobie, look down! Hobie, look down!" Obviously, he couldn't hear it. I'm sure he was freaking deaf at that point.
And like Mimi had said before, they're just so used to trying to give eye contact to everybody.
Yes,
looking
and
over
I understand.
And looking
but
up
when you're
and
in the
looking...
moment, you yourself, you're intoxicated.
Yeah.
Like you were not in your right mind.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Like I thought that I was gonna be chill when I was not chill.
The hell made you think that?
Sarah made a lot of assumptions.
But what Sarah's not saying is that when we were in this road, so the whole road that we were in, we had no idea that road had cleared out. It was like all of a sudden these people in the row were next to me, and then I look back over them, the row is empty, and I'm looking there at the barrier, and I'm like, Sarah, the row is empty, let's go to the barrier. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, let's go. And we shoot over there. It was insane.
When you see
I'm
the
so
opportunity,
grateful we
take
did
it.
that.
Yeah. Keep that in mind, Armies. When you see an opportunity, you take it, but you always be respectful of one another, and you protect
absolutely.
our guys.
We absolutely never
Entirely.
even thought about pushing other armies,
Respect
shoving
our
other
guys.
armies.
Absolutely not.
We never put our hands on anyone.
Exactly.
That's
And-
how you help things
except for
work.
the whole bomb fiasco
Yes.
where someone was like, "Lady, just give me my bomb."
Well, she was confused.
I joke, but I would have never actually laid my hands on that security guard. Now, I would have run away and had him try to catch me. But I would never hurt him, and I would never lay my hands on the boys.
And we do not advocate getting buck wild like that.
No, in all fairness, that would have been hilarious, though, because you definitely would have gotten the boys' attention had you just y'all running in a big old circle like Tom and Jerry.
And then Miyaka chasing after the security guard chasing you with her hijab flying in the wind. Yeah, they gonna be seeing y'all.
Yeah. So to wrap this all up, you were talking about our final take on the concert. My final take on the concert and that experience was from beginning to end, the entire Army atmosphere, which that's why I tell people, even if you have seats up on the third row or what have you, the guys recognize you, and it is the entire Army going experience that makes it worthwhile. Even if you're going by yourself, that entire Army going experience. And then I also want to push the fact that I remember the first stadium, not tour, but their stadium concert was at MetLife. Namjoon was so nervous. He was so nervous for the experience itself. And y'all can remember him standing on the stage telling Armies don't push, Armies be kind, Armies. He was extremely nervous as a president, as our leader. And it reminds me of that I don't know what he was seeing, or if he thought he was seeing maybe Armies trying to get up, because that was back in the time where Pit was Pit. But we are always together. We are always comforting one another. We're always helping one another. We're always polite to one another. And that was a beautiful atmosphere for me. So that Army concert going experience was wonderful from beginning to end. And then the actual concert experience is just surreal. It is surreal. Yeah. And I pray that actually every Army that wants to have that concert experience can have it and get it. Yeah. So that's mine.
My final thoughts is that I got a secret and I'm not telling you. But it was
rubbing it in.
I am rubbing it in. Oh, if I could tell y'all, I would. I'm rubbing it in some more in it. But anyway, my final take was that I want to thank the city of Chicago and all the Chicagoans for their warm hospitality. And they completely made us feel welcome and were extremely helpful. They literally knew Army was coming, didn't know what that meant, but they knew Army was coming, and they embraced us and helped us and welcomed us in their town. And I will go to a concert in Chicago any day.
Yeah, absolutely. We just even want to go back and visit Chicago.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I do feel like crying. It was such a great moment in my life.
It was.
That's all I have to say.
Okay.
All right.
I am really so grateful for that whole experience. Just echoing what y'all said. I think it was so magical, and I am honestly grateful even more so in hindsight, you know, with the time that we've had in between, that our last concert was honestly such a great experience that we can still relive it to this day.
Yeah, our last one until the next one.
Until the next one.
I la-la'd all the way home. La 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 la.
Oh, I just remembered one more thing I was gonna say. Y'all know, almost always I get sick every time I travel. This was one of the only times I have ever not gotten sick, and I was in the rain, y'all.
Yeah.
True. Soaking wet.
This concert literally energized me.
Yeah. I was the one that actually had a abnormality about me, and it did not stop me from acting a plum fool.
All right, well, with
that was it. Now you know Army.
Bye.
Chi-Town experience.